Hello, everyone, and welcome to my life. So, on today's episode, I wanted to talk about love, breakups, and relationships. But first, I got a new mic. I got a new mic, and I'm recording on it right now. And it connects to like headphones, so I can like hear myself as I'm speaking, which is like, I think the first time that I've ever been able to like hear myself while recording something. Pretty cool. Microphone's beautiful. It's the Blue Yeti. But yeah, so the audio will be way better from now on. But yeah, so I wanted to talk about love, breakups, and relationships because I've been listening to Olivia Rodrigo's new album. I think it's called Sour. Really good album, by the way. Love it. I love basically every single song on there. I don't think I found one song that I don't like, but I was listening to that album and listening to the lyrics and everything, and it's so sad. Like the things she talks about, the way she feels and the way she felt during the relationship, everything is just sad. Like she talks about changing herself and trying to like wear makeup and trying to read all the books that the guy that broke up with her was reading, like all of his self-help books, just so she could seem smart to him and wear makeup just so he could think she was beautiful, and just like literally transforming herself and molding herself into everything that she thought he would like. And it's so sad because a lot of people, a lot of girls, not just girls, a lot of people go through that and feel like that and do that, myself included, just to, I don't know, just to like to keep someone, which is like, you shouldn't have to do that if it's the right person, if it's the right relationship, because they should just already know your worth. You shouldn't have to keep proving yourself over and over and keep showing your value to a specific person. So, the first thing I want to talk about was changing yourself for a guy. And here I'm going to use words such as guy, girl, boy, girl, boyfriend, girlfriend, but I know those are not the only types of relationships, So just modify it in your head however it fits your life. Um, so, changing yourself for a guy. I feel like a lot of times. Okay, that's weird because I hear a motorcycle here, but I don't hear it in real life. My headphones are also noise canceling, so maybe that's why. But a lot of times girls just try to do everything that a guy likes, and almost like they try to become the perfect person for this guy, and they forget to be themselves. They forget that like he has to like you for you. Like that shit gets exhausting. It's like, say this guy's really into sports. You go and you learn basketball, you go and you learn freaking football or whatever it is, and you try to like be one of the homeboys, or you try to just do everything that you can to please him. If he likes skinny girls and you go crazy in the gym to lose weight, or if he likes girls with, I don't know, blonde hair, you go and dye your hair. He likes girls that wear makeup. You go and like start wearing makeup just to please this one person, and it's like, no, you should like me for me. You shouldn't make me change in order to fit this idea of a perfect partner, or this idea of this person that you always saw yourself with. No, go out and find that person. That person exists for you. Just don't mold other people into this idea that you have in your head. Yeah, like and also, I'm not saying say you get with someone who's really into like fitness, right? And then you start going to the gym and you start eating healthier as an influence, as like the influence that that person has in your life. I'm not saying this is not that type of situation. This is not that type of scenario, because that is actually a good thing because this person is influencing good habits and just encouraging you to get healthier and get more active and stuff. That's a good thing. That's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is you being one way and feeling like in order to be with this person, in order to please this person, you have to change yourself. You have to change things that you do, the things that you're interested in, the outfits you wear, the way you wear your hair, like things like that. I'm also not saying like, oh, he likes my hair straight. So, you know what? One day I'm going to straighten my hair and just surprise him. No, and that's different from, you know what? He likes straight hair. My hair's curly. Fuck it. I'm going to straighten my hair every single day just so he could think I'm beautiful. See how it's just two different extremes, completely different scenarios, and just that's not it. Like, you shouldn't have to change either every single aspect of yourself or certain parts of yourself so that somebody could like you better or like you more or be more attracted to you. You have to think, do I even like them? Or is the way they are like something I'm willing to live with, something that I'm willing to not put up with, but literally just live with? Is that good enough for me? Not am I good enough for him? No, is he good enough for me? Do I like him? Do I like these qualities in him? And if you don't, leave. Don't stay and try to change him. Because why? You shouldn't like waste your energy trying to change someone, and you shouldn't waste your energy trying to mold someone else into the perfect person for you, because the perfect person for you already exists. You just have to find them. You shouldn't have to sit there and try to nitpick at someone else's qualities and someone else's characteristics. You shouldn't have to go and try and change someone just so they could be what you want. Cuz if they're not that already, then just leave. If they're not that already, you're just wasting your time and staying there and staying in and trying to make them what you want. It's never going to happen, and they're not going to be happy and you're not going to be happy because you're going to keep getting disappointed because they're not meeting your goals and your standards and vice versa if like the roles were reversed. Another thing I wanted to mention was do not fall in love with potential. Like, when you meet someone, they have had their whole life up until that point. They've had their experiences, they've made up their mind about who they are, right? They have a pretty good idea of who they are, what they like, and what they don't like. And then you come in and you're like, wow, he's so great, but only if this one thing was different. And you're like, I know he could do it, but like, there's just so much potential there. There's just so much, like, he could be the person of my dreams. He could be the man of my dreams. He has, like, basically almost all of the qualities of the person that I want, but only if this one thing was different. And you're just setting yourself up for disappointment over and over and over again because they are most likely not going to change because people are how they are. And it's like, if it's something like, oh, when I met them, I don't know, this is going to be really extreme, but like when I met them, he was the perfect guy for me, but he was doing cocaine every night. This is, again, like I said, very extreme. He was doing cocaine every night. He could have been the perfect guy, but except for the fact that he did cocaine every night. Okay. In this scenario, this is something that you can work with him and, help him change. This is something that is a good thing if you do get him to stop. But I'm not saying it's your job to get him to stop. It's not your responsibility. It's not your job. It should not be your goal. Your only goal in life is to get this man to stop doing cocaine every night because you have your own life, you have your own problems, you have your own responsibilities, and you have your own goals, and you should always focus on those. Never make someone else's life, someone else's goals, and someone else's problems your concern or your priority. Because yes, you can love him to death. But the fact that if he's not ready to change, if he's not ready to stop doing cocaine every night, you're not going to change him. you're not going to convince him to stop doing cocaine every night. Because people will not change unless they're ready to, unless they see something in themselves that they don't like. And they're like, you know what? I'm going to go and change that. You could be fucking heaven on earth and you won't get him to change if he does not want to. So don't fall in love with the potential of what could be, because if he's not already that person that you want, that person that you think you need, then honey, leave, because he will not change and you will keep getting disappointed and you will keep wasting your time trying to get this man to change, trying to get this guy to be better for you or even for himself. If he's not ready to change, if he doesn't come to that conclusion on his own, then leave. It's like, do this. If you take anything out of today's episode, it should be this. If you meet someone or if you're in a relationship with someone, ask yourself, if this is how they're going to be for the rest of their lives or for the rest of the relationship, am I okay with this? Am I happy with this? Can I live with this? And if the answer is yes, just no ifs, ands, or buts. Just a yes or no. Yes, I can. If the answer is yes, I can live with it. Yes, I can. Yes, I'm okay with this, and I'm okay with him the way that he is, and I'm okay with our relationship the way that it is. Then, congratulations. Stay in the relationship. But if it's like, if the answer is, he's really great, I love him, everything is great, but I don't think I could live with, I don't know, let's go back to the cocaine example. I don't think I could live with the fact that he does cocaine every night. Then goodbye. Close the door on that relationship. Close the door, lock it, and throw the key in the fucking ocean. Gone forever. Goodbye. See you never. Because don't sit there and think, well, I know this is something, don't sit there and think that just because it's something that you see a problem with, that it's something that you think if he changes, he would be such a great person that he needs to do it. Like, don't think that just because it's something that you think would make his life better or would make your relationship better, that he should do it. Because it's like I said before, people don't change unless they're ready to, unless they think they need to. So if you're not okay with him the way that he is right now, without him making any changes, if you're okay with him being the way that he is, and you're okay with your relationship being the way that it is right now, the way that it is right now, if this is how it's going to be for the rest of however long you guys stay together, if you're okay with that, then good, stay in the relationship. But if you're not, and if you're trying to change the person, or you think, oh, but if only he changed this one thing, or if only he worked on this one thing, we would be great, then leave. Because it's not your job to sit there and fix someone else's life. You have your own life, you have your own goals, you have your own priorities. You should be the single most important person in your life. You should be the main character of your life. So don't let anybody's son come into your life, disrupt your peace, and make you focus on him, his goals, and his problems instead of your own. It is not your responsibility to change anyone. It is not your responsibility to fix anyone else's problems or fix anyone else's life. Okay? Yeah, you can do it if you want to. Yes, you can do it if you think, I mean, it is your life. You can do whatever you want to do. But just know, you're going to waste your time if you try to change someone. Another point I wanted to make here was to give yourself enough time to heal and time to focus on you after a breakup. Because don't go out like talking to multiple people or trying to like distract yourself. Don't look for distractions, but look for healing. Try to focus inwards. Try to pour all that love that you gave to someone else back into yourself. And try to, fill your own cup before you fill someone else's. Because during the relationship, most likely you were focusing on that person, maybe sometimes even more than you were focusing on yourself. So now it's the time to really just bring all your attention back into yourself. Bring all of that love and care and dedication and attention that you were giving to someone else, bring that back to you. Give that back to you. And nurture yourself. Water your own freaking grass. The grass is not greener on the other side. Water your own grass. Make sure you're good. Make sure that you're good on your own, and don't try to get into anything else just because you're lonely or because you need attention from someone else. You don't. You're okay on your own. You're fine on your own. You are enough just the way that you are. You are enough on your own. And if you don't think that, you don't believe that, you should not be in a relationship. If you have any problems or any baggage or just anything that you need to work on, don't look for a relationship to fix that. Because just how it's not your responsibility to fix someone else or fix their problems, it's also not someone else's responsibility to fix yours. Everybody has their own shit that they need to work through. Everybody has their own shit going on. So don't try to fix other people, and don't think that it's other people's jobs or responsibility to fix you. Because this is something that I've done a lot in the past. Like, I've just kind of like wanted someone else to fix me in a way. Like, I just wanted to, like, okay, so I was in a 1.5 year relationship that was really just not good. It just wasn't a good situation for me to be in. It wasn't a good relationship for me to be in. It was very toxic on both ends. I can't sit here. I'm not going to sit here and say I was the perfect girlfriend, because I wasn't. But yeah, we were just not good for each other. The relationship was very toxic, and I was done with the relationship before it ended. So it was like I was like already checked out. I was like, my bags are already packed and at the door. The key is literally in the door, in the doorknob. I'm just waiting, and it's already turned. I just have to literally open the door and walk out with my bags. That's how I was. And the walking out part with my bags was harder, just because it was always people leaving me, never me leaving someone else. So I just didn't know how to do that. I didn't know how to walk away because I felt bad. I think, you know what? I think the reason why it was so hard for me to walk away was because I've had like people that I loved kind of walk away from my life, and I knew how that felt. So I didn't want this other person to feel that way. So that's why I stayed. Not like, I obviously cared about him a lot, so I didn't want him to feel the pain and the hurt that I did when I was a kid. But that's besides the point. Yeah, I didn't want this person to feel the pain and the hurt that I felt when people walked away from my life, so I didn't walk away. And in turn, I kept hurting myself, and I kept hurting him, because I wasn't giving him what he needed out of a relationship, or what he should have been getting out of a relationship, because I was basically like done. Like, I was over it. Way over. I was just over it. And so after we broke up, I met someone else. And the relationship I had with this other person, beautiful relationship. Just a complete, like, not even 180. Well, obviously it would have to be a 180 to be opposite, but like a whole, I'm going to say 360, but literally just completely different. Completely different. Amazing relationship. But I was bringing my own baggage into this relationship, because I hadn't worked on myself. I hadn't healed from things that I didn't even know I was dealing with, like a whole bunch of childhood trauma that I didn't fully comprehend until recently. But yeah, I was just bringing all of that into this new relationship, and expecting this new person to make me his, not make me his priority, but expecting this person to just be my end all be all, like always be there, even when, am I getting too personal? Maybe I'm getting too personal. Yeah, so what I was talking about was I brought all this baggage and everything that I hadn't fixed or worked on during the time that I should have been single, because I left my one in something relationship, 1 year and whatever relationship, the toxic one, and then kind of jumped straight into this other one. And I did not give myself enough time to heal and just really learn how to give myself everything that I needed. So I expected this other person to give me everything. Like I expected this other person to literally be with me 24/7, because I didn't want to feel alone. I didn't want to feel lonely. I was also very depressed at the time. I had just, on my first episode, I talk about my rock bottom story, and I had just kind of not came off of that, but I was coming off of that my freshman year of college, which is when this happened. So I was just coming off of that. So I wasn't really in the best, not in the best mind space, but like I didn't know that I was all I needed, that everything that I needed I could give to myself. I didn't know that. So I expected this other person to do that for me. I expected this other person to be with me 24/7, always like literally like run to me whenever I, not run to me whenever I called, but like I expected this person to just drop everything for me. And this person, and when he didn't, I would just be like, "Oh, so you don't love me?" And this is also stuff that I brought from my previous relationship that was toxic, because that was my first real relationship, and my first like long relationship too. So I didn't really know like what to expect out of a relationship, what was normal, what wasn't. So I just thought, oh, you should cater to all of my needs, you should do this and that and that. And it's like, not that he didn't, because he did. He went above and beyond basically. But the the thing is, like, I wasn't healed and I wasn't okay with myself. I didn't love myself. So I expected this other person to fill this void that was there in me and in my heart. But it's like that void, oh, there's people talking outside. Anyway, ignore them. Very loud and obnoxious neighbors. But anyway, so I had this void in my heart and in myself and in my life that could only be filled by me and by the love that I had for myself and the love that I could give to myself. I didn't know that at the time, so I expected this other person to fill that void for me when it was literally an impossible task, because he literally could not, because only I could do that for myself. And it's like, a lot of people, when they don't heal from breakups, this is what they bring on to the other relationship, like the relationship after, or situationship, or whatever it is. And this, it just doesn't serve the other person. It's just not right for the other person to have to deal with all of these things, to have to deal with all of the unhealed parts of yourself, because you're just literally grabbing all of your trauma and all of your problems and all of your trauma and your problems and just everything, putting it in a nice little box, putting a bow on it, and then handing it to this other person. And they're like, "What the fuck am I supposed to do with this? Like, how, what, why would you give me this? Why would you make me, like, why would you want me to hold this for you? Why would you give this to me? Why would you make me the responsible for this?" And that's literally what I did. And yeah, don't do that. But yeah, like, that's why I think it's really important for you to heal. after a breakup instead of just jumping from person to person or situation to situation because you're just trying to distract yourself from the healing and the pain, and you're trying to find a distraction instead of sitting there with yourself and your feelings and trying to, one, make sense of them, and two, heal from them, so that whatever relationship you get into next, you are the best version of yourself and you can be the best person and the best partner for the other person that you choose to be in a relationship with. um by the way, for the record, I mm, I do not regret dating the person that I like. Not, I don't regret getting into the relationship that I did, because it's literally the okay, how do I put this into words? It is one of the most impactful relationships that I have in my life. And this person has been, aside from like my family and like mentors, I don't even know. Have I had a mentor that's impacted me? I don't know. But anyway, aside from like my family, this has been the person that has been the most impactful in my life. Very grateful for this person. Love this person with all my heart. Do not regret a single thing. Okay, I do regret like on our very first year of the relationship, I regret like being too needy, just because I felt very lonely and I made it his job to make me feel less lonely when it wasn't. So I do regret that. But everything happens for a reason. It happened exactly how it was meant to happen. But yeah, uh, do do as I say, don't do as I do. So don't jump into a relationship after, like right after breaking up with someone. And in my defense, I got into this new relationship just because I was so done with the person that I was with. Like I had not been in love with that person for a couple of months before I actually broke it off. So I thought I was fine. I thought I didn't have any baggage. I thought I was good. Ha ha ha. No, I wasn't. But you live and you learn. And that is why I'm telling you to do as I say, not as I did. Okay? To sum it all up, don't change yourself for someone. Don't make someone else change for you. Don't make someone else's problems, um, goals, hardships your concern, because they're not. They're theirs. And don't make your problems and goals and hardships someone else's problems. It's someone else's problem or concern, because it's not. It's yours. Always make sure that if the relationship stays the way that it is right now for however long you guys stay together, will you be okay with it? If yes, stay in the relationship. If no, leave. Don't try to change someone. Just leave, because you're wasting your time. And also give yourself time to heal. Pour into your own cup before you pour into someone else's. And always, always, always make sure that you are your first and second and third and fourth and fifth priority. That you are the main character in your life. Don't let somebody else's son come up into your life and make him your whole sun, moon, and stars. Don't, because you are that. So, hope this helped. I will see you when I see you.